Government shutdown impacts a unique business in the state. We'll tell you about it coming up on WCBI News.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with breaking news. The former chief investigator for the Webster County Sheriff's Office is being booked into the Oktibbeha County Jail at this hour, along with a female jailer from that county.
Oktibbeha County Chief Investigator Brett Watson confirms that Griffin and a jail employee are in the process of being booked at this time. Landon Griffin was fired by Webster County Sheriff Tim Mitchell on the day that Mitchell himself was arrested by the MBI. Griffin was hired by Mitchell in February of 2016. Watson cannot confirm the name of the female nor the charges at this time. We, of course, are continuing to follow the story. We'll have the very latest coming up for you on WCBI News at 9 and 10 and on our social media platforms.
In other news today, a new year and new jobs on the way to North Mississippi. 65 of them, in fact, are on the way to Verona.
Specialty foam manufacturer Elite Comfort Solutions says it is increasing production with a $1.9 million investment. The company saying that investment will help it be more competitive in the bed-in-a-box market. The mattresses will be compressed and shipped from the company directly to customers. Elite Comfort Solutions currently has 53 employees at its Verona location. Production of the new mattresses planned for the spring.
Mississippi's treasurer wants a new job. As State Attorney General Lynn Fitch officially makes the announcement this morning, the Holly Springs Republican was first elected back in 2011 and is currently in her second term. Fitch first began her law career as a special assistant attorney general in the AG's office. She was appointed as the executive director of the Mississippi State Personnel Board in 2009. Republican State Representative Mark Baker has also announced he's running for the attorney general's post. Current AG Jim Hood is running for governor. A bill that gives electric co-ops the option to provide high-speed internet service takes one step forward today. The State House Public Utilities Committee unanimously passes the bill. Northern District Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley says HB 366 will now move forward to the House floor for a vote. The Nettleton Democrat has pushed the measure that would allow electric cooperatives in the state the opportunity to get in the high-speed internet business if they choose. Right now, co-ops do not have that opportunity. A number of cities and counties have signed resolutions supporting the legislation.
It was a cold day for the oath of office in Alabama. Governor Kay Ivey has been sworn in for a full 4-year term. Ivey completed former Governor Robert Bentley's term in office after he resigned in 2017. She then ran her own race, winning in November. Ivey was joined in front of the Capitol by several former governors, including Bentley, Riley, Siegelman, and Folsom. Ivey said the late Lurleen Wallace, Alabama's first female governor, was a childhood hero. Governor Ivey spoke today about recent economic success in the automotive industry. She also urged lawmakers to focus on improving the state's infrastructure. She closed by hoping that the people of Alabama, she said, will come together. Well, the partial government shutdown nears its 4th week, and a unique business based in Northeast Mississippi is at a standstill right now when it comes to product development. Allie
Martin checks in with Queen's Reward Meadery and tells us how the impasse means no new productions on the shelves.
It's been a busy 8 months at Queen's Reward Meadery. Jerry Carter opened the business last May. Queen's Reward makes mead or wine made with honey, water, yeast, and other flavors.
We're the only meadery in the entire world making mead with Mississippi honey.
Each flavor must go through a 2-step approval process. Workers at the Washington, D.C. based Tobacco and Trade Bureau first have to approve the recipe, which takes about a week. Then the new flavor's label has to get approval, and that can take 4 to 6 weeks. However, the partial government shutdown means TTB employees are not on the job, so Queen's Reward Meadery cannot get any new flavors approved.
We have a flavor that we're really excited about that we wanted to have ready and have released in time for Valentine's Day, which this is obviously not going to happen because we still have to wait for both of those processes to happen. And even if the government opened back up today, if the shutdown ended today, with the backlog, there'd be no way they could get those processed, and we would be able to get that ready. Maybe Easter.
Jerry Carter calls herself the Queen Bee here at Queen's Reward, and while she says the shutdown hasn't shuttered her business, she would like to see some progress made in Washington to bring an end to the partial government shutdown.
Quit being political and make the decision that you think is best for the country. It may not be the same decision I would make, but it's frustrating to me to watch politicians change their opinion because it's not, because they would have to go against what their party thinks. Now do what you believe is right.
Queen's Reward can continue bottling and selling flavors that have already received the TTB's stamp of approval. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Queen's Reward is the only meadery in the state of Mississippi.
Well, the government shutdown is starting to have an impact on the nation's busiest airport. After nearly 4 weeks, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International is seeing fewer TSA agents reporting for duty, resulting in longer security lines. Many passengers are now finding themselves waiting up to an hour and a half longer than normal. Airport officials are advising travelers to contact their airlines ahead of time. Passengers are trying to stay patient.
We've been through a bunch of airports in the last weeks, and it seems to be getting worse each time we go through an airport.
It's long, but you know what? We have to appreciate that they're here. The TSA. Absolutely going to take us longer, and we got to be patient, I guess, because why would you work for no pay?
The current shutdown is the nation's longest. Time now for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for that. Keith?
Audrey, right now and earlier today, actually, and right now, our Skycam time lapse is picked up on a cloud cover, still overcast out there on our Monday. A bit of a gloomy type day for us, chilly temperatures around 40 all day long. Still extensive cloud cover across our region right now. Those clouds are going nowhere fast. We got temperatures right around 40. We'll be cooling down through the low 40s, through the 30s, down into the mid to low 30s later tonight. Let's hope for a few more breaks in the cloud deck tomorrow. Not guaranteed though, but probably a few more. Mid to upper 40s. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Learning a second language usually starts in middle school or high school, but that is not the case in the Columbus Municipal School District.
Starting this semester, the city's youngest students are getting a head start. Our Jory Talley joins us live in the studio with more on this story. Jory.
Spanish class is nothing new for pre-K through 5th grade at Sell Elementary School. Now, the program is going district-wide, and administrators say that tackling a second language at such a young age isn't the only benefit of Spanish education. Things may sound a little different when you walk into Patricia Field's classroom. For this class full of 4-year-olds, it's their first year of big school, and it's Field's first year of teaching.
Growing up, as Mexican Americans, we like to make people feel at home. I used to get in trouble as a little kid. Pre-K age. You didn't say hello, you didn't welcome them, you didn't offer them something to drink or anything like that. So hospitality is a big deal. So I like to carry that into my classroom. And even when I visit other classrooms, try to come off warm and engaging.
After a warm welcome and a quick hola, the Spanish-speaking lessons begin.
Because it's a lot of repetition and we use a lot of music and song and dance, they really get into it and they start to link that motion with the words. So they catch on to it in class, and they say good morning to me in the hallways in Spanish.
And even though these children are still sharpening their English skills, they're pretty enthusiastic about tackling a second language.
It exposes them to something that's not normal for them, and it makes it normal for them. So when they get out there, even if it doesn't have to do with language, they're like, if I could do that, I could do anything. Yeah. And I really liked the way Dr. Labat put that, because I hadn't thought about it that way, about developing a fearlessness in them.
Sell Elementary's pre-K through 5th grade students have been learning to develop that fearlessness for quite some time.
When we moved to the magnet theme concept for our elementary schools, each of our elementary schools took on a theme, and so for Sale, they went the international studies magnet school route, and so just as a part of supporting Spanish education as a part of that, most international schools, even at the elementary level, offer another language.
This year, the district wanted to spread it to other classrooms.
When we started this last week, because our first class started started the week after Christmas break. All of the teachers seem to be very, very excited about being able to expose their children to Spanish.
The classes also give students an idea of what their English language learner friends are going through.
The classes that have ELL kids in them, it's really good to create compassion and awareness, because we have that conversation. You got to remember, these little ELL kids, all day, every day, they're in a classroom where they don't understand the language. You only have to be in a class like that for 45 minutes out of a week.
Fields travels the district 2 days a week to teach Spanish to pre-K classes at different elementary schools.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. A lesson on transportation takes a cute little twist.
We join the parade when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
And then we stick him live.
Well, there was a little bit of a traffic jam at a local Head Start this morning, but the 4- and 5-year-old drivers were following all the rules. Preschoolers at Clay County Head Start dressed up as cars and motorcycles and trucks, all of them made out of cardboard. They've been learning about the importance of rules of the road and rules in the classroom. They paraded through the hallways today, obeying and observing traffic signals. Their teachers hope those lessons will translate in the classroom.
That's part of our curriculum, and that's why we're having this boxcar parade, because we're talking about rules and regulation. And rules and regulation can go in the classroom, where you're talking about classroom rules, as well as on the road.
And this boxcar parade is an annual event there at the Clay County Head Start.
Right now across our area, upper 30s, low 40s, so we really haven't budged much today because of those clouds, and probably not moving too much tonight. Lows in the low 30s. We could actually be warmer than that, but warmer days are coming later this week. Your full forecast.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It is great to see you. Overcast conditions in Vernon, Alabama today. That's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from our Monday. Gloomy, dreary, but overall uneventful. And some days we will take an uneventful day with no active weather, no winter weather, no severe weather. Upper 30s, low 40s right now. Temperatures basically holding steady all day long because of those clouds we just showed you. Now look at this, our temperature trend. 48 tomorrow, mid-50s Wednesday, around 60 Thursday and Friday, mid-60s on Saturday, and you're thinking, hey Keith, this is going to be a great week ahead. But let me squash that. Look at this. We have a cold blast of air coming on in for Sunday and probably early next week too. Temperatures will go from the 60s there Saturday afternoon into the 30s most likely for highs on Sunday, and lows Sunday night, Monday morning could actually get down into the teens, well down into the teens with wind. So cold plus wind, never really a good thing. So that's coming, but right now our Tuesday, not too bad. A few more breaks. We started out overcast, but we should see a few more breaks in those clouds. But I will tell you, these clouds, the way they're set up this time of year, very difficult to erode. But in theory, we should thin out those clouds a little bit tomorrow. But if we don't, we may not reach 48 degrees. Look at all the low clouds we had out there earlier today. These will be tough to break tomorrow, but definitely by the middle of the week we'll do so. Our next system, though, way out here in California, look at all that rain, mountain snow out there in the Sierras. Very wet out there. We have an active jet stream, and that will carry that energy for us wet weather for Thursday, and then another system right there for the weekend. Let's talk about this. Futurecast picking up on the clouds now, being very optimistic, and I mean optimistic, to get rid of the clouds tomorrow. Fingers crossed, probably not clear tomorrow, but hopefully some breaks. Clouds start to fill back in. Assuming we do thin things out Wednesday, they'll fill back in for Thursday. Our next system will move on through. And then our other big system will be Saturday, a pretty good chance for some rain and storms. And then some cooler air behind it, maybe a little bit of light snow Sunday morning, but not a big deal here, not a big deal for that. The big story will be this blast of cold air and wind that will come in on Sunday and Monday. So a nice warm up here, some rain chances here Thursday into your Saturday, and then a big time cool down starting Sunday.
Northern Lowndes County residents in one neighborhood will need to alter their Tuesday commute starting tomorrow morning at 8:30. Oakdale Park will be closed from Green Hollow Circle to Butternut Drive. No incoming or outgoing traffic will be permitted as crews work to replace a culvert. The road will be closed until at least 11:30 a.m. All right, coming up next, the reigning 4A state champs continue to look for former head coach Miller's replacement. More information on that coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
When a football program loses a decorated coach like MC Miller, who brought countless titles to the Louisville name, many questions arise of who will be his official replacement. And there is yet to be an official hire to the Louisville head coaching position, but sources close to WCBI can confirm that Noxubee County head football coach Tyrone Shorter is an official candidate to serve as Miller's replacement. The Louisville Municipal School District has yet to confirm Shorter as Louisville's new head coach. Shorter replaced former head Noxubee County head coach MC Miller when he left to coach Louisville back in 2010. And since then, he's led the Tigers to 4 4A state titles. This past season, Shorter and the Tigers finished the season with a 7-6 record. The school board will meet tomorrow to discuss the potential hire at 5:30. We'll continue to bring you more information on WCBI Sports tomorrow. For the second week in a row, the Ole Miss Rebels have earned SEC Player of the Week honors. Last week, Tyree secured the spot after scoring a career high of 31 points against Vanderbilt, and this week, the honor goes to senior guard Terrence Davis. The Rebels enter into another week of SEC play on fire. Davis helped to lead the team to a 3-0 conference start with upsets coming from number 11 Auburn and number 14 Mississippi State in a 4-day span. During that time, Davis is averaging 19.5 points per game, registered team highs with 27 points and 12 rebounds, recording his first double-double of the season against Auburn. This isn't the only time Davis has earned the conference honor, the last time being back in January of 2017, his sophomore year. Davis helped the Rebels secure a number 18 AP Top 25 ranking, the first time since the 2012-2013 season the Rebels have been in the top 25. Next up for Davis and the Rebels, they look to keep their win streak alive from the Pavilion with matchups against LSU and Arkansas. Well, Mississippi State men's basketball still looking for their first SEC win of the season. A tough start to the conference for the Bulldogs, going 0-2 after the upset from South Carolina on the road and at home this past weekend against Ole Miss. The turnaround is never too long. The number 24 Bulldogs play Florida tomorrow night, a team known for taking risks with plenty of shots from deep. And with that, they got back into practice yesterday with head coach Ben Howland saying that the shot from beyond the arc is something they continue to focus on.
We talked about that after our game Saturday. They had 12 threes, and I think we've given up 20 in the last 2 games. And everybody's shooting threes in college basketball now, and in NBA basketball, it's a huge part of the game. And when you're looking at analytics, and in other words, if you shoot 35%, you're really shooting 52.5 from 2, and when you're talking about threes, so 40% is 60%, and so on and so forth. So everybody's playing. The game has evolved more and more into such a 3-point shooting game.
Well, here's a look at this week's upcoming games. Like I said, tomorrow night, Mississippi State will be taking on Florida at home at 6 p.m. The Mississippi State women are playing Auburn tonight, and then Ole Miss plays LSU tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Ole Miss women, they have an off week. That's it for sports. We'll have your last look at your forecast coming up next.
Well, it was cloudy and chilly today. A few more breaks tomorrow, definitely by Wednesday, but we do have some rain on Thursday. We'll be warmer later this week, even with those rain chances, even in the Saturday, but there will be some colder air coming on in by Sunday.
I was going to say that 18 really sticks out,
And,
Keith.
you know, I know, it sticks out like a sore thumb with wind. That's the problem with the wind.
Haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, it's coming out.
All right, we'll start bundling up now. And thanks for joining us, everybody.